George, thank you so much for speaking with me, especially as we were speaking just before we started this interview. The world is completely upside down. That's the best way to describe it in the friendliest of manners, with the pandemic going on and a lot of people trying to get out and do things. But most of the time, as it's been suggested, even though as we speak here in Ontario, it's phase 2, a lot of people are still feeling like they need to stay home and they need that, something to do. People are being creative, but a lot of times it's the services that we watch on our television that helps us get through these times. And thank goodness we have something new on that service happening. Sir, you have an announcement, something that Canadians are going to enjoy. What's going on? And talk a little bit about your company, please.
Well, first of all, you're absolutely right that these are crazy times. And, while we do take a great deal of pride and pleasure in announcing the launch of our service, and in also making it clear that it is a bit of a solution for what people are dealing with, we at the same time, we really don't want to be capitalizing on or exploiting these very, very difficult times. And we just hope that our new product, RiverTV, can help people deal better with them. RiverTV itself is a completely unique new product in Canada. It's the ability for people to watch television, conventional television, if you will, with a channel guide, along with on-demand assets, on-demand shows, but without the need for for cable, without the need for set-top boxes, something that you could watch as easily as you would watch Netflix. So basically, if you've got the proper devices, you would download the RiverTV app to your device, and you could be watching in 5 minutes.
Now,
and
one
that's
thing
something that's never been in Canada before.
And that's something we want to make sure. This is Canadian, correct?
100% Canadian. Yes, it is. It is. The technology that it's built on is Canadian, and the services are the kind of channels that one is used to getting in Canada, with one qualification, which we can get to in a couple of minutes.
Now, hopefully I'm not repeating or getting you to repeat what you just said, though, but what do you think makes this unique and different from other services that are out there?
The most important thing is that right now there's a huge cohort of people, let's call them millennials, if you will, who are completely accustomed to consuming their video entertainment over the internet, by way of apps, by way of their browser, but all over the internet. And these are the people that you would otherwise also potentially call cord cutters. And when they cut the cord, one of the main reasons they cut the cord from conventional television is because conventional television is not being offered to them in the same way that they're able to access Netflix and the other things that they access on an internet platform. So people don't necessarily object to TV like Global Network, like Showcase, like History. There's tremendous shows on all of those channels. The real issue is that they happen to, until now, be delivered on a platform that they've turned their backs on. So now what we've done is we've repackaged exactly those kind of shows, those terrific shows on terrific channels, and we've made them accessible to the millennial generation in the way that they're accustomed to consuming video, which is over the internet.
Now, how about somebody like myself who's a baby boomer or last of the baby boomers? Is this still something that I would enjoy too?
I think that I'm a baby boomer myself, and absolutely you would, because it's just as convenient for you, and on top of everything else, it's also very affordable. So if you're the target demo for our service, which is primarily, frankly, millennial females, millennial young families, people who are more interested in lifestyle programming, this would be right up your alley. It doesn't have a lot of expensive sports content, and so we're able to keep the price extremely manageable for over 30 channels for just $16.99. So the affordability factor is something that appeals to everybody. We had a beta test where we had a cohort of about 5,000 people that tried it out, and among them, many of them responded to us and said, "You know what? I got this from my mother, and now she won't let me cancel it for her because it's a free trial, right? So it was a free beta, and so I tried it out with my mother, and now she won't let me cancel. She loves it so much."
Okay, so for folks who are still, figuring out and maneuvering around this whole new technology world, so I want to make sure that they understand. So what do they do? Do they download an app? How does that work? And then once they do get the service, how does it move on? What do I see? And what are the channels do I get to see? And programming do I get?
First of all, I would encourage everybody who's listening to this, and yourself included, to go to our website, rivertv.ca, and find out for yourself just how easy it is. It's literally 3 steps. And so you could be accessing it in 5 minutes. The steps are basically the following. You go in, you give us a limited amount of information, and then you go to your favorite app store, whatever that might be. If you happen to have a Roku device, if you happen to have an Apple TV device, or if you have an iPhone, go to the app store that's applicable to you, find our app, which is very easy to find. Just type in RiverTV, and you will be able to download that app to your device and authenticate based on the credentials we send you by email, and you'll be watching. And that's your free trial, and you can try it for 7 days at no cost whatsoever, no commitment, no cancellation fees, no contracts, no nothing. If you care to stay on, then at that point you will start paying the monthly subscription fee.
Fantastic. And what kind of programming? You kind of mentioned a little bit. What kind of programming are we looking at here?
So in terms of what people are most familiar with, we have a host of some of the absolutely top-rated non-sports channels in Canada, including W Network, including Showcase, History, Slice, Teletoon, Treehouse. We have a lot of great stuff for kids. And then we also have, so we have a total of about 27 channels like that. And then we also have 7 channels from the United States, but these are channels that nobody's really experienced here in Canada because they are primarily marketed in Canada as individual apps. But what we've done is we've now added them to our playlist, and they're included. So, for example, Cheddar, which is a very hip business channel, very popular in the United States, is on there. Revolt, which is the ultimate hip-hop channel, which is owned by Sean Combs, is on there as well with the very well-known Breakfast Club every morning with Charlemagne the God. So we have something for people who are young, who are into cutting-edge content. We have all of that for them. And these are unique U.S. channels, and we're going to be adding more of them as we go forward.
Now, just curious also, so something like Netflix has a section where, you know, I could get it, but then I can have a guest that can also be part of that. Can you do that with yours?
Well, it's not. If you mean by guest, you can share the credentials.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is that there can be 3 people experiencing it at the same time.
Incredible. You know what? Here's the thing I was thinking myself when you were speaking about this. One of the biggest problems that I think we all have is sometimes we have too many apps on our phone. And all these different things that you talk about, Showcase or whatever, they have their own apps. And sometimes it can just be overwhelming. And, you know, we got to take this off, put this back on, whatever. You've just condensed it all down really just to one to get all these great channels.
Well, Rudy, you completely nailed it, though, because one of the things that we aspire to be is to be an aggregator for virtually all of the video content that you want to consume. So we want to have relationships with all the video providers and collect them all on RiverTV. So all you have to do is subscribe to RiverTV, and you could be watching everything off of one single app. Now, one thing to remember is we do talk about a couple of things. You mentioned these times. One of the things about these times is that people are not producing a lot of original content anymore. So a lot of your Netflix library is starting to get a little bit stale. What a perfect time for people to start out with RiverTV and be able to watch all their favorite shows that they haven't seen for a long time, catch up on all of them, and be getting the thousands of hours of original programming that, call it conventional television, is known to produce. I mean, every week, imagine all the new shows, that new episodes that are on Showcase, History, on Smithsonian Channel, on Family, on all of these channels. That's tons of content, far outstripping what's available in terms of new content on Netflix.
Absolutely incredible. So I think the most important thing is, you've mentioned already, but as we're wrapping this up, we should mention again, where do we go? How do we get this? You mentioned the website. And also, is there Twitter or anything else that we can follow for special announcements or anything like that?
RiverTV.ca is the website. And yes, we do have a Facebook presence under RiverTV. We have Twitter under RiverTV. We have Instagram under RiverTV. So there's a lot of places to follow the progress of this brand. There's a lot more to come. We literally just got this off the market just a few short weeks ago. We're going to be coming out with a very compelling out-of-home marketing platform in about 2 weeks. If you're in Toronto and if you're downtown, we're going to have a fantastic streetcar going down King Street that's going to be letting the whole world know about RiverTV.ca.
That's incredible. My friend, thank you so much for this interview. And thank you for doing this. And more importantly, it's Canadian. So this is something we all should be supporting.
It's completely Canadian, and it's Canadian tech, and it's Canadian content, and it's Canadian affordable.
Fantastic. Again, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you, too. Thanks, Rudy. Take care. Bye-bye.